Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along to the history box of the 1980s Rabies Mania. Before we go any further, we were in the middle of looking at a compilation video of Rabies films, and we've just got to have another look at it to load it up on our screens before we dive further into it, and it's fucking disappeared. Whoever it was that put it up on YouTube has made it private, so I don't know whether some listeners have been on there leaving smart-ass comments, or even just the fact that the numbers have highlighted to that uploader that something strange is going on because everyone's looking at it.
But why would you upload something to the internet and then when it got attention panic and take it down again?
Well, I think that the that account, whoever it was that's put it up, is probably Big Rabies.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason,
I think they don't like what
stuff
we have started to highlight, because on the last few shows we've highlighted the fact we did some digging, because first and foremost we are investigative journalists, always have been, always will be. You can't suppress that instinct in us.
You know, with DNA, isn't it?
Yeah. And you looked up the numbers of deaths caused by rabies in the British Isles during that era and previous eras and to this day. And throughout any era you care to look at, it was pretty small. I mean, it was
minimal.
It was very minimal, and we were shocked by this. So we started to think, well, why were they investing all of this money into these scare stories about rabies? Bear in mind, this was all pre-internet, so no one was able to research the rabies statistics themselves. And therefore, if the public saw the government, it's quite interesting. Messages that the government put out in those days were far more powerful because we had no ability to cross-check things. So the government were putting on loads of ads saying, listen, right, the biggest threat to our fucking health and safety is nutters bringing cats over from France. Who were we to disagree with? Well, it must be true. But it wasn't true. They had another agenda. No. What was that agenda? We don't know as yet. But we've started to ask questions, difficult questions, that the authorities, that Big Rabies, that the government, that the civil service, that the deep state don't like us asking. So
the
first,
Department of Health.
They shut down the video. Next, they start bugging our phones. Well, bring it on, deep state, Big Rabies. I'm thinking you and I could sell the fucking rights to this. It's quite popular. It'd be like All the President's Men.
Exactly. It's exactly what I was thinking. We're Robert Redford and the other fella.
Dustin Hoffman.
It's Dustin Hoffman, was it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, ask yourself this. Which former health secretary has been all over popular cultural TV over the last few months?
Matt Hancock.
And why is that? What are they covering up by having him front and centre, distracting everybody by going, and I'm a celebrity, get me in the jungle?
Rabies lies.
And all of that rabies.
Historical rabies deception by the British government. It went all the way up to the top. I wouldn't be surprised, all the way up to Her Majesty herself.
Very, very suspicious that she died when she did, just before. I think she died just a few days after we announced that we were going to start doing rabies.
She's like, fuck this, they're on to us.
Queen, check out.
Queen out.
Over and out. TTFN.
I knew this day would come. They're on to us. And guess who it is? Those cunts on that dafty podcast again. They've been nothing but trouble for the last fucking 3 years of my reign.
Is she even dead? That's the question I'm asking now. What's the rumour that went around about Michael Jackson?
That he was in fact living in a big tent in Egypt.
And what do they have in Egypt?
Rabid cats by the bucket load. Oh.
No.
Pyramids.
What's one of the biggest monuments in Egypt?
The Sphinx. The pyramids.
What's the Sphinx?
The Sphinx
what kind of animal is the Sphinx?
Fucking cat.
Boom.
Jesus Christ. Join the dots, sheeple. Fucking Dawson's joined the dots for you, you daft bastards. He's spoon-feeding it to us like so much custard.
Her Majesty, the late, I see in inverted commas with the fingers, the late Her Majesty the Queen is actually holed up inside the Sphinx with Michael Jackson, the King of Pop.
And they're
the King and Queen together.
Pulling the levers of the deep state from all the way out there in the desert. And one of the levers they pulled shut down our fucking rabies video.
Yeah,
shut down the rabies video. They're going to find out about all the lies.
Was that Michael or the Queen?
That's Michael.
It sounded like
the Queen's
together.
Like, do stop shrieking, Michael. I'm perfectly aware of what those flaming podcasters are up to. I'm already all over it.
This isn't my first rodeo with those fuckers.
I've sent a fucking message to my direct private line at YouTube. They said it will take 3 to 4 days for their panel to review, and then they will make the video private.
And if you think
can't wait 3 to 4 days.
If you think the Queen doesn't have any authority over YouTube, ask yourself this. Who was in charge of dogpiling on the internet while she was still alive?
Yeah.
The Queen. She's got a big internet influence. Also, dogpiling. Rabid dogpiling?
Yeah. She was the one who named it dogpiling.
Yeah. Another dot joined. There you go.
It's a shame, though, because they were good videos, weren't they?
Well, we've kind of, like, found them, or most of them, in other sources, so it's not too bad, is it?
What we were looking at was a compilation of them all, but you couldn't find them all individually.
Yeah. The next one we've got here to look at is Rabies Outbreak Public Information Film PIF 1976, which was uploaded by someone called Retro Pixels.
Right, let's have a look at it, shall we?
Let's just have a look at it on the count of
What's
3.
What's going on in this one? Oh, yeah. Dog show cancelled. This is what they were trying to scare us with.
Oh, you started it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll go back to the beginning.
No, you're all right. You're all right.
On our last episode, we were talking about another thing from years later, and they did cat shows cancelled. So it was the main thing they were leaning on was the fear of our dog and cat shows being cancelled. But I don't think that would be that scary for... I mean, some members of the public are banging to cat and dog shows, but not all of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching the video. So this is the dog version of that cat one that we saw, which didn't actually... Oh, no, it's the same one. Cat show is cancelled.
Cat show cancelled, dog show cancelled.
Further along, dog show and cat show.
Yeah, quite bad, but not the worst thing I can imagine. I'll go to the cinema instead.
But the protagonist of this is weird because this is 1976, which I think was around the same time that The Littlest Hobo hit the screens. And this is basically just The Littlest Hobo. It's a black Labrador, and it's just going about its business, Labrador and about.
Yeah.
But everyone that comes into contact with it are just completely bricking it. You've got a lady there with a nice hat on. She sees the dog. She comes around the corner. It's coming the other way. It's got like a chain around its neck as well. It's like it's not. She hides in a telephone box, and he just wants to be friends. This is 32 seconds in.
It must have been hell being a dog in this era, because what they were doing was they were spreading. It's like they try to do about the immigrants now. They try to spread fear of the other.
And homosexuals as well back in the 70s.
Exactly. This classic government technique to like try and distract us from the real problems by making us
an other.
They're trying to generate fear in the other. And as a dog walking on, you could just be any old dog, not a rabid dog, but you might be like walking along, say, like, as I've said before, in the 80s, we just let our dog out the front. Lots of people did that. You didn't always have time to walk it on a lead. So you let the dog out the front for a wander about, for a little bit of dogging about, right? And people would see it, and because it wasn't on a lead or with an owner, people might, rather than think, oh, it's a nice dog, they'd like shit themselves. Oh, it might have rabies. So it must have been really tough being a dog.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going on here. That's what's going on.
It's horrible.
But everyone is completely shitting themselves at this Labrador. It's not foaming at the mouth. It's not trying to attack anybody. It's not rabid.
Minding its own fucking
business. Just doing a bit of dogging about, like you said. Yeah. So you've got the lady with the hat who locks herself in the telephone box. How long she'll stay there for, I don't know. Because that's just going to make the dog want to get in there with her.
Well, she's a fucking neurotic, to be honest.
The dog's just, come on, let's play. Then you've got a fella who's out walking his dog, which is on a lead, which is all well and good. He's got a little dog. It looks a bit like Oscar. A little stupid dog he's got.
This bloke shits himself, doesn't he? There's a great shot of him shitting himself. This dog, he picks his dog up and he backs away like Crocodile Dundee.
Well, we see him and we see the dog coming towards him and his dog, and then it cuts to a sign by the side of a country lane which just says rabies infected area. And then it cuts back again to him. It zooms in on the sign as well, drama style.
Read the full thing.
And then it cuts back to the bloke and he's petrified.
He's backing
his dog's
away.
got a muzzle on anyway. He's a bit of a weirdo, like the woman in the phone box. He's backing away. He's stroking his own dog's head as if to like calm it. And the Labrador's just standing there like the littlest hobo, just, let's play. Come on, let's be pals. We'll go down to the river. Have a splash about.
Come on.
And then
don't be like that. I just want to have a play. Maybe jump up, lick your hand a little bit.
It's summer. It's 1976. It's the Otter Summer Records.
Let's make the most of it. No point wasting it on shitting ourselves about rabies when it's not even that prevalent yet.
We're going to die sometime.
Yeah. Why not die of foam?
Losing all your foam.
Don't die of foam. Don't die of foam.
Don't.
If your dog begins to act in a peculiar fashion, gas it.
Don't emit all of your foam.
Is your dog after your foam? Possibly. Has it been speaking French? Does it smell of garlic? It's probably got rabies.
Gas it. Gas it now.
Gas it in your oven.
Suspect your dog? Gas it.
Do you suspect your dog of fraternising with Spaniards? Think fast. Think fast. Gas your dog.
And then so the fella's stroking his dog's head, trying to calm it down. And then cut to another sign which says rabies infected area, warning noticed, poisoning and gassing in progress.
So what, they're saying they'll be poisoning and gassing dogs in that area. If you come here with your dog, we'll poison and gas it, and we may poison and gas you as well. So think on.
Theoretically, if you just let your Labrador out doing some dogging about, we're going to find ourselves in this chaos of
I suppose
rabies mania.
Famously they always say that the Brits are a nation of pet lovers, right? And I don't know, but I suspect back in the 1970s even more so than today, because obviously we didn't have shopping centres, PlayStations, etc. So the best distraction we had from
dogs.
The sometimes agonising fucking grind of life was a dog or a cat or a fish or a rabbit, right? And so maybe this kind of advertising carried more weight back then, because they're going, listen, just imagine if you couldn't just take your dog for a lovely walk without worrying about it being gassed or poisoned, right? And people would be like, this is so upsetting. I don't know I might research it now. I might find out like pet ownership through the years.
Jalapeño.
Pet ownership.
Good research that.
UK.
What I was going to say as well, back then, dogs were a lot more controlled in the sense of you had to have a dog licence before you could get a dog. We've talked about this before. You'd have to go to the post office, fill in a form, get your dog licence. I think it cost about £4. Yeah. So dogs just weren't... You couldn't just get a dog off the internet like you can now. I mean, this Labrador that's roaming around, it belonged to someone, I guess. It would have had a dog licence. Maybe it should have kept its dog licence around its neck in a little tube, or a little barrel like the St Bernard had, full of sherry.
Oh, lovely!
Used to go around with Bernie
was it
Winters.
sherry? I thought it was brandy.
Oh, was it brandy? Was it? I thought the dogs were called brandy.
Pet ownership has grown. Oh, that's in the US. Okay, let me just. I've got some stats here.
Some live stats have been acquired.
10 million, 34% of UK households own a dog, compared to 28% owning a cat. I'm surprised. I would have thought more people own cats than dogs, wouldn't you? because cats are just easier to own.
Well, maybe that's just a southern way of mind.
Okay, dogs are more prevalent up north, do you reckon?
Probably, yeah.
There's more space up
so.
north. You need space for a dog, and there's much more space up there.
You can take them out ratting.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Households with both a cat and dog are up slightly. You both. That's me.
That's you.
11%, 3.2 million. Looking at households with children, 77% have a pet. So if you've got kids, you're very likely to also have a pet. 6.9 million, an increase of 12% on 2021. Wow, that's amazing.
Does it say how many households that don't have children have pets instead?
Doesn't say that yet. Let's have a see. No. They call them fur babies, don't they?
They do, yeah. They're generally to be kind of avoided, I think, people like that.
Okay, listen.
The words fur babies.
Right. So we've established the number one cat dog, number one pet in the UK, dogs, 13 million.
Top of the pops.
Second, cats, 12 million. But Andy, can you guess the third?
Dog, cat, rabbit.
No.
Guinea pigs.
No.
Gerbils.
No.
Parrots.
Well, you're in the right ballpark when you say parrots.
Budgie.
No, it's indoor birds.
Wow.
So they've done a broad category, but it's a big drop. It's only 1.6 million. I'm astonished. Like, that feels, again, more like a 70s or 80s stuff. Like any sitcom you watch from the 70s, someone's always got a fucking budgie or a canary or a minor bird, right? Because it's integral to the comedy. Because they're always saying things that they shouldn't be saying. And of course, there's Harry Grout with his canary. I wanted a budgie with all of my little heart when I was a kid.
Did you?
I can't even remember why. I just loved the idea of having a budgie. And there was this one budgie in a pet shop that we used to sometimes visit, because nowadays you don't really get pet shops with pets in them. But back then it was something that you did. It was a free thing to do with the kids. You go, come on, we'll go up the pet shop, right? In fact, that's existed when my daughter was little, because I remember a childminder used to say, I'm taking them up the pet shop today just to look at the animals.
We've done that with our kids before. Yeah,
my daughter hated it.
No, we've done it, and I'd had a look, see what's in.
Yeah, you see what's in. There's certainly around my way, I haven't seen a pet. There's lots of pet shops. None of them have pets in. They just have pet things. And but there was this pet shop quite near where I lived, and we'd go in. My mum would take me in there for a look about. And there was this one budgie that I wanted. I remember it now. I was only about, 6, 7. I remember it because it had an orange spot on its cheek. And that's how I knew it was my one that I dreamed of having. But I couldn't get it. I don't know why. Probably because we thought the cat would get it. But I was absolutely...
You can't really have a cat in a budgie. Because you've got to let the budgie out, haven't you?
Yeah.
To exercise.
Yeah, fly about a bit.
But you've got to keep the
I've told you about my mate Joe with his parrots, Sybil. What was the other one called? Sybil was the mentor. Brian. Yeah. Brian. Yeah. And sometimes they'd fucking escape, and the whole house would go into a state of founder because one of them was so aggressive and mental. You would literally, if it got out, it would be like a crocodile had got out. You'd be like, Sybil's escaped! And everyone would just run in different directions, lock themselves in the tucking toilet, jump up on the sofa. There'd be kids crying, everything. Fucking absolute founder. It was really funny.
Love it. Excellent.
At number 4, it's domestic fowl. What's that then?
That's chickens.
Chickens?
Innit? That's people keeping chickens
just
in the garden.
Pets. Well,
that's hipster shit.
My brother got chickens years ago. He got it as a present for his missus on her birthday. He said, I got you a chicken. Right? But they were still living in London. So they built a coop with wire for these. I think there was 2 chickens. Don't worry about that. They were only there for about a week. The foxes, the cunning fuckers, they dug underneath. They didn't try and go over the wire. They couldn't do that. They went, we're not going to make that mistake. And they dug down.
Bastards.
In the night, they dug down and made a tunnel that went underneath the wire. And then they came back up. All right, cons, stuck their head up through their little tunnel.
No,
got out.
Yum, yum.
Yeah. All right, cons.
Man.
It's dinner time. And they just fucking ate the chickens. And my poor
sister-in-law woke up in the morning to be confronted by the carcasses of their chickens.
No.
So think on.
I just said they're hipster shit, but that doesn't apply to our friend who came to Leeds and brought us some eggs from his chickens.
Then you got rabbits. We had a rabbit when I was very young, it was my brother Dom's rabbit, and he had to watch the cat from next door eat it, and he claims to have never recovered from that, and I'm not surprised. That is very traumatic. Then you got your guinea pigs. At number 7, pigeons.
Wow.
Number 8, hamsters. Number 9, tortoises and turtles. And number 10, there are 0.6 million domestic horses and ponies.
Oh, that's nice.
Living in someone's rig, indoors.
That's nice. Yeah, just living around the house.
Yeah.
Good. Let's get back to the end of this advert then.
Yeah.
Rabies outbreak, public information film 1976. So then we see that sign which says poisoning and gassing in progress. Cuts back to the Labrador, just doing a bit of dogging about, wagging its tail like nobody's business, having a great time.
It's just like, I'm just out and about. I don't understand why everyone's being so...
sun's shining.
Yeah, so miserable. Look at, hello, missus. Goes up to some woman in her front going, hello, missus, how's it going? Got any sausages? Go away, you're frightened for a dog. Oh, don't be like that. I'm a nice boy, I am.
You death sentence, get away from me. Oh. And then it cuts to the cat show cancelled sign that we'd seen already. Admission 20 pence. That's quite steep for 1976. Don't you think? That'll be about £3 now, wouldn't it? 20 pence.
Yeah.
Sort of money to get into a cat show. But it must have been a good one. But it's cancelled anyway, so we'll never know. And then we see there's a woman just on a little path going up to our house, just next to her, doing a bit of gardening. There's a spade in the garden. She's got a cat with her. A cat's on a lead, so she can have it outside with her while she's doing the gardening. And she sees that dog, picks the cat up, and slams the gate shut in a panic just before the dog managed to come in. And again, the dog just looks really sad. He's licking his lips, actually. I think he wanted to eat the cat. And she says, go on, go!
Go away!
We've got a bunch of kids. Let's turn the volume up for this bit because it's an important message. Bunch of kids obviously moving away on the pavement, away from this rabid dog.
In could lead to all this. So if you suspect anyone of smuggling, tell the police.
Beer grass. Britain, beer grass.
Do you have a dog smuggler or benefits cheat in your street?
Exactly.
Whatever it is that you are suspicious of, grass, and grass some more. Call the government grass line now. Whatever grassing you want to do, our receptionists are willing and ready to hear your grass ups. Whether it be about the dog or tax avoidance, benefit cheating or petty theft. Grass your neighbours. It's what God wants you to do.
That's what it is. We've established there was no rabies and no threat of rabies. And all this is, it's just a sly message.
Well, maybe
attempting to get people to grass on people.
Maybe if we'd been saying this stuff back in the 80s, we'd have been considered like fringe lunatics, like the people who say that COVID isn't real now, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, we would have been then. Yeah, we probably would be now as well.
What if we started going around saying rabies wasn't real? Should we get T-shirts printed for the shop saying rabies wasn't real? Or should we just get one saying dog show cancelled? Or should we get ones that just recreate that sign saying gassing and poisoning in progress? Rabies affected area, gassing and poisoning in progress. Would you wear a T-shirt like that? Get in touch and let us know. I'm happy to get them printed.
Yeah. We'd need to have a minimum of 15 to make any kind of profit, but, let us know. What else has happened? Yeah. So then there's the bit, again, the dog. He's just a littlest hobo. Just trotting around. Looking for adventures. All of a sudden, a van pulls up.
If rabies breaks out, any animal found loose will be seized.
I'm putting this
kind of authority figure gets out with one of those loops on a stick
Our authority figures, our government-employed authority figures, have loops on a stick. Loops on a stick that can capture your dog. Do you want to see your dog in a loop on a stick? I doubt it. Well then, do not go to Portugal.
The dog has been looped. You hear the sound of the van door closing. Some bystanders are turning around looking a bit relieved because he's been taken away.
Rabies is a killer. We must keep rabies out.
Yeah, and then we see the dog being dragged away at stick length by the man who is wearing but 1976 version of like a hazmat suit and face mask and everything.
It reminds me a lot of because I'm watching Handmaid's Tale at the moment. Very big Handmaid's Tale vibes because they do a lot of rushing around in vans and jumping out on people and getting them on a hoop stick in that as well. So they're doing it to women, not to dogs.
Oh, okay.
This is it!
And sadly, that is that. At that point in the episode, we had a bit of a technical issue. Sam sounded like a robot on speed, and his voice was completely out of sync with mine, so it was just fucked. So sorry about that. You didn't miss much. Some stuff about tetanus injections and the French Foreign Legion. So we might cover that again next time. So sorry, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.